Hello everybody, Parallel here, and welcome to Star Trek Online. I hope everyone is having fun with their shuttles, because this weekend is actually Shuttle Event Weekend. For anyone who's not familiar, Shuttle Event Weekend is an event that comes around every few months, which all of the shuttle queues give buffed amount of reputation marks and fleet marks. And they are actually very good. It's very good rewards for the shuttle event weekends. So I thought it would be a perfect time to check out the new, recently released Mirror Danube Runabout. I just got this ship as part of a recent special event that happened. It was a charity event about a week ago. And as part of that event, if you donated to the charity, they would reward you with several ships. A lot of them were small craft, and one of them was the special Mirror Danube Runabout. So I was able to pick that ship up, so I thought it'd be a good time, with Shuttle Event Weekend going on, to give this ship a spin and see how it does. First, I thought I would just quickly do just kind of a short build. I don't want to go into a whole lot of detail here. I mean, it is just a shuttle. It's not a very complicated build. But I thought I would go quickly and show what I'm using on the ship, and then take a look at the ship in the tailor so you can see what the mirror skin looks like. And then I would like to actually do a run of one of the events, one of the shuttle queues that are happening during the event. My preferred queue is actually Atmosphere Assault, so I'd like to do a run on that and maybe give a few tips. I've run this dozens and dozens of times now, so I could probably give at least a few tips or hints on what are some good strategies to try to accomplish all of the optional objectives in the mission. So that is what I'd like to do in this video, so let's get started here with just a quick rundown of the Mirror Danube Runabout. One thing, it's very similar to the standard runabout. The main difference I noticed is the console layout here. You can see it actually comes with 2 tactical consoles, 1 engineering, and 0 science. That actually makes it a little more similar to like the Scorpion. Scorpion fighter, if you've flown that, has the same console layout. So definitely a more tactically oriented than the normal runabout, which has just the 1-1-1. Most of your small craft will just have your 1 engineering, 1 science, 1 tactical. But this one does come with 2 tactical. It gives it a little bit more of a tactical flavor. Although I have to say, I don't know that I don't like having 0 science consoles. I actually I do like some of the science consoles. That I found that some of them are quite effective on small craft. So I'm not necessarily a fan of having 0 consoles, even though the second tactical console is nice. I do miss that science console for sure. But yeah, for my build here, you can see I pretty much just transferred over my Starship build. There's nothing, that special about shuttles. You can use all of your regular Starship weapons and sets. So the main difference is you just have way fewer console slots, device slots, and weapon slots. You, in fact, only have 2 forward weapon slots. And you can see here I do have a dual beam bank in here, anti-proton, and I do have an omnidirectional beam bank in here. This is kind of a new configuration I've been trying, particularly for atmospheric assault, just because I'm trying to combine. I like having the forward firepower of a dual beam bank for taking out the walkers, but I also like having the omnidirectional in there because while you're taking out the walkers, you're also being swarmed by little Elachi fighters, and this is actually a good 360-degree weapon for taking them out, while you can also focus your forward firepower onto the walker. So I've been trying this. It works quite well. I mean, you can also just use just beam arrays also work fine. They do plenty good. I just wanted to try this out as something different. And your beam fire at will, this works excellent with that, as your omnidirectional will be, your beam array is very good at, hitting all the targets around you 360. So when you're getting swarmed by shuttles, your fire at will be doing a good job taking those out. For my space set, I am using my Iconian set. I just carried this right over from my main ship that I use. So I'm using the deflector, impulse, and shields all at Mark 14. That is to get also the 3-piece set bonus, which if you're not aware is excellent because it gives you, it's the energy augmentation actuator, which gives you the stacking team buff, which stacks up to 45% energy damage as you are firing your weapons. So that's a very good 3-piece set bonus for the Iconian set. I'm also using the Elite Fleet Plasma Integrated Warp Core. Again, just a very good warp core. This one is very good because it reduces your weapon power cost. And for the one device slot here, I'm using my Temporal Negotiator. If you had a red matter capacitor, probably that'd be even better to put in here. This is nice for reducing cooldowns though. For my engineering console here, I mean, there are lots and lots of options you can put in here. But you know, as a shuttle, you have very, very few consoles to work with, so just put in your highest value consoles, honestly. So here I'm putting in my Plasmonic Leech, which I consider to be one of the most high value consoles. There are actually some other good consoles to put in here. For example, the Aceton Assimilator is actually very good on some shuttle missions because it does enough damage to take out a lot of those small craft. So I've seen people use the Aceton Assimilator to good effect. So a lot of those consoles might actually work quite well in a small craft mission because, you know, small craft have so few hit points, those consoles can be quite effective. And for my tactical consoles, I just put in vulnerability locators, 2 of them, with AP damage. Now, one other thing you probably know, or if you don't know, you only get 1 bridge officer slot on shuttles. And that's the same here with the Mirror Runabout. It comes with just a Ensign Universal. Here I like to put in my Romulan Officer with Superior Romulan Operative trait, and then of course Beamfire at Will. I really, really think Beamfire at Will is one of the best abilities for shuttle missions. You know, your beams do enough damage to take out shuttles, and having the ability to just target dozens of shuttles as they're swarming around you with Beamfire at Will is really excellent. It's very good for taking out swarms of shuttles. Anything else of note here? As far as traits go, I won't go into too much detail. You can see the traits I'm using. One trait I will just make note of, which I find to be particularly effective here on shuttle missions, is reciprocity. Because reciprocity reduces your recharge time on your tactical and intelligence bridge officer abilities, so that'll reduce the time on your Beamfire at Will in this case. And it does that every time you are missed. And it can only happen every few seconds, but every time you're missed, you will get a cooldown reduction. And if you know anything about shuttle missions, you would they typically happen at much higher speeds than your normal missions, and since you're flying around at high speed, there is a lot of missing going on. And so targets will miss you a lot, and that will give you a lot of utility out of reciprocity. So a very good trait, and good for reducing your cooldowns, as you don't have a lot of other bridge officer abilities. Like, for example, I don't think All Hands on Deck is particularly great for shuttles because you have to be using a tactical or command bridges officer ability, and in shuttles you just don't have that many. But since reciprocity works off being missed, it is very good on shuttles. So let's see here. Anything else to make a note of as far as the build? Yeah, I think that's it. I'll head up into space here to check out the stats on this ship. The stats are pretty much the same as a normal runabout as far as I can tell. Yeah, so let's go ahead and head up. Actually, before we head up into space, I did want to take a look at this in the Tailor so you can see the visual options available. It's basically, again, it's pretty much the same as a regular runabout, but it does have a unique mirror universe skin. So let's go ahead and customize it here. Yes, I have the Iconian visuals on. Let me turn that off real quick just so you can see the base looks of the ship. There we go. So there is the base looks of the ship. I am actually using the Corvus pattern on it, and I've colored it a little bit here to make it kind of matches. As you know, Corvus adds kind of a gradient look to your ship, and I think it looks really good as it fades from the white to the red, kind of fades in with the rest of the Mirror Universe skin. But you can see here it is actually just its own skin called Terran. Let me just turn this off for now so you see. So here is the base Runabout with just the mirror skin. And you can see here it just adds a new skin called Terran. Yep, so you get your other skins as well, but this is the actual skin for the Mirror Universe ship that you get with it. It is a nice looking skin. I do like it a lot, and I think with that reddish color it actually goes quite well with the Iconian visuals. And also with that Corvus pattern, I think goes quite well. So pretty nice looking skin. Now one thing I did actually hear, let me check this out. I'll turn the visuals back on as well, because I think it does actually look quite good with the Iconian set visuals. But one thing I did notice, one thing I had heard is that, I don't have it on me right now, but I heard that you can actually use this skin on a Yellowstone Runabout. I never actually tested that out. Let me claim my Yellowstone real quick here. And let's switch to it. And let's take a look at it in the Taylor. Yes, indeed. There it is. Let's maybe brighten it up a smidge. Yep, so there it goes. You can get the Terran, once you've unlocked the Mirror Universe skin, you can also get it on a Yellowstone. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, very nice looking skin. I like it a lot. Alright, let me go back over here and switch back to my ship that I will be using, the actual Mirror Danube Runabout. Alright, so let's head up into space, take a quick look at it there, and then we'll go out and do a mission. Now this was a limited time event. It was actually a very limited time. The charity was so successful that I believe they reached their funding goal in a matter of hours. So literally there was not a whole lot of time where you could get this ship. But for anyone who didn't get it, I'm hoping, I think it was so successful, I think they will bring this back in the future. I think future charity events, they will be giving away more of these Mirror Universe type ships. So I wouldn't worry too much. I fully expect that they will come back at some point. But as you can see, here it is in space and with the Iconian set. Again, I think it looks quite fantastic with Iconian, because Iconian set has those little red, kind of glowy, like there on the bottom, you can kind of see the Iconian set. So it kind of matches the red from the Mirror Universe and looks very nice. And you've got the little Iconian deflector graphic as well, although it looks like it stopped for now. Oh, there it is. There it is. So it's a fun little craft to fly around, but for the most part the actual 3D model is just the same as a regular Runabout. You can see the relative size here compared to other ships. Definitely a lot smaller than a Scimitar, that's for sure. And a lot smaller than a Hapax. And command cruisers. I didn't realize command cruisers are almost the size of a Hapax. That's quite big. There's a Yamato down here. So yeah, as far as the actual performance of this ship, let's take a look at here. I will pull up to full throttle and just take a look at the ship stats. Not that it's that critical for a shuttle, but the hull is 22,000, which is pretty good. You know, the runabouts do have a good hull. They're slightly less maneuverable than some of the smaller shuttles, but they do have a good hull for a shuttle. And yeah, you can see crit chance and whatnot are a bit lower because you're not running your full set of consoles and whatnot. But you can see their turn rate, 47 degrees per second. Yeah, that's what makes shuttles fun. They are very maneuverable. You can go all around. Oh yeah, one thing I did want to mention is that as a runabout, this comes with this tractor beam 1 sort of built in. Just like the other runabouts, Yellowstone I believe also gets a tractor beam. So you get that kind of for free. You don't have to slot it. You don't have to have a bridge officer with it. Which is pretty cool. Some of these small craft do come with a free ability, like the Captain's Yacht comes with, I think it's emergency power to shields, which is also actually very nice on a small craft. So yeah, so there it is. That is the visual appearance and the stats on the ship. I'm gonna have fun doing a little flyby here of a scimitar. You can see the relative size. It is pretty small, although definitely bigger than some of the other small craft. Alrighty then, I think that's enough of that. Why don't we head in and actually do the mission? So let's queue up for atmospheric assault. You can see it is nice that during the shuttle event weekends, they do put all of the shuttle queues up into the kind of the featured area of the queue, the PvE queues window. But yeah, I would say my first tip for the shuttle event weekend is to do it. Take advantage of it. I think some people maybe don't, they don't use small craft very much. Maybe they're a little intimidated to give it a try. I would say, definitely, especially during the shuttle event weekends, the rewards are so good, and the missions are not really that difficult, even if you don't have the best gear. So just go ahead and jump into the small ships. They're fun. They're a fun distraction from your normal ship grinding. The rewards are worth it. Even if you've never flown one before, it's a good opportunity to just get into your small craft and go ahead and do it. You don't have to do anything special with the build like you saw from mine. You can just bring over your main, you just bring over your best items and your space set and your weapons right from your regular starship. Nothing special there. All right. So as far as the mission itself goes, a lot of the optionals are timed, and there's actually 5 total waves for the mission. The timing is actually very critical because all the waves are timed and you have to destroy them within that time limit. And some of the times are actually quite stringent. You have to be in a pretty decent DPS group, and if your group knows what they're doing and they go after the correct walkers, it can make the mission much more likely to succeed. If your team doesn't know what they're doing, they don't go on the walkers right away, then you're probably going to fail some of the optionals. That said, even if you fail some of the optionals, the rewards are still very good, so don't worry about it too much, but you do get some bonus marks. Okay, so here it is. We just defeated the first wave, and you just saw this walker is landing over here, and he's 70 kilometers away. That's not good. You can be somewhat disadvantaged by the randomness of the spawns because they can spawn all around the periphery of the city on this map. And the fact that this one spawned so far away, see, I'm already down to only 30 seconds left to destroy this thing. I'm going to put down an attack pattern alpha and mark it. I don't necessarily want to blow my long cooldown fleet abilities because, good. Go down. Because some of the later waves have 2 walkers, and those waves are a lot harder to sometimes meet the timing because you got to get there quicker and you're still trying to clean up the wave that was there. So I tend to save my longer cooldown DPS abilities for those last 2 waves. But we did really good on wave 2. Okay, so here's wave 3 coming. Good. Now he's actually really close, so this is a good spawn. We'll be in range really quick here. And you can see there what I actually did. If you're stuck in combat like that, I'd recommend using your evasive maneuvers. Because sometimes, like I said, the timing on these optionals is so critical that if you're stuck in combat for like 10 seconds, that's 10 seconds off this, the optional to destroy the walker, and it's very hard to actually win. So, use your evasive maneuvers after if you're, see like these walkers, oh crap, I just used mine, and now these walkers on the other side of the map. So it would have been nice to have my evasive maneuvers right now. I probably should have saved it there, but good, I got out of combat pretty quick. So there's actually some shuttles left from that wave, but I have to, if you want to meet the optional objective, you really have to book it to the walkers, because that walker timing is very stringent. You only get a minute to destroy the walker. And you can also see something here that a lot of people don't know, but you only have to destroy in these spawns that have 2. I'm gonna blow every cooldown here. And I'll finish my thought in just a second here. I've only got 15 seconds to destroy this thing. I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm gonna use my Tetrion beam here. I'm using every cooldown I got. It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. Come on, 9, 2, 1. Oh, we failed. Oh, so close. You can see I also did drop my sensor interference platform. That is the active. See, here's the thing. My team went over to the other walker, and this walker is not the optional objective. So that's what I was trying to finish my thought there when I was trying to finish that one. But when the spawns that have 2 walkers in them, the trick is you only have to destroy the walker that spawns on the right. And that is the right from the point of reference. If you're like in the middle of the map looking outwards, it will always be the walker on the right. That is the optional objective. And you can see this is a pretty terrible spawn. I'm gonna use my evasive maneuvers to get out of here and try to get out of combat. But as you can see, they spawned way on the other side of the map. In fact, this was probably literally the worst spawn pattern you can get. If they spawn right in a row and you can just kind of go around the circle, you get much more time to actually do DPS onto the walkers. But you can see by the time I even get to this walker, I've only got 30 seconds left. This is the walker on the right from the point in the middle, so this is definitely the optional one. But I've only got 22 seconds here, and I don't even have the same amount of cooldowns as I did before. Although my team did come to this one this time, so 11, 10 seconds, come on. I don't think it's going to be happening. So close again. See, if we had gotten better spawns, I think this team was actually good enough where we could have gotten those last 2 optionals. But alas, it did not happen. And you can see that the timing for cleaning out the rest of the wave is a lot more forgiving. We've got 2 minutes left, and that's no problem. Taking out the other walker and the rest of the shuttles within 2 minutes is really not a problem. It's really taking out that first walker. That is the trick to it all. That is how if you want to complete all the optionals, it's very tricky. And it's particularly the last 2 waves that, wave 4 and wave 5. Those are the ones that spawn with 2 walkers, and those are the ones that are the most difficult to complete. And I recommend you save your cooldowns for them. And those are also the ones that you can see, like what happened to me in this run, where they spawn on the opposite side of the map. And you have to travel way across, and you lose a lot of time just getting there. As you can see, my omnidirectional beam ray does a nice job when Fa is running to take out all the little shuttles. And then you can just kind of focus fire right on the Lachi walker and get your flanking bonus, get up right behind them, get up close for your point blank shot trait, get your most damage as you possibly can. Okay, so that was a pretty decent run. Why does it say we still haven't defeated optional wave 5? That's odd. Usually if there's any enemies left, it wouldn't complete the mission. Well, in any case, that was the run. You can see we do the 2 optionals that we failed, and these are the 2 most hardest ones to complete, is the wave 4 to destroy the walker and wave 5 to destroy the walker. Very difficult timing on those. You need high DPS and just a little bit of luck also to be able to get to that walker in time. Just remember, it's the walker on the right. I've seen a lot of people not realize that. It's always the walker on the right. So I'm here in the middle of the map. You can see near this big building. So if I was looking over at this spawn, it'd be the walker on the right. If you're looking over at this spawn, it'd be the walker on the right. And if you're looking over at this spawn, it'd be the walker on the right. So it's always on the right-hand side from the perspective of the middle of the map. But the rewards are really, really excellent for this. You can get your choice of marks from any marks. So if you're looking to farm up those Terran marks, go ahead and do that. I've already actually gotten the daily... Oh, no, I didn't. So I might go ahead and do that. So you can see here, let's take a look at what we did. There you can see 255 marks. Wow. And that was a pretty quick mission. I mean, that was not bad at all. Pretty quick mission, and 250 marks for that. That is amazing. I mean, that's literally, if you do this shuttle event, you know, it started on Thursday, you do it throughout the weekend, you do, say, four runs, that's 1,000 marks for, like, you know, little under 10 minutes of, you know, under 10 minutes per run. That's a ton of marks. So, you know, definitely take advantage of these shuttle event weekends, because those rewards are amazing. And even the fleet marks, you can get over, if you complete most of the optionals, you can get a little over 200 fleet marks, which is also very good if you're just looking to farm fleet marks. But so there it is. That is Atmospheric Assault, and hopefully some of those tips helped you out there. I have seen, like I said, I've seen people use Aceton Assimilator to good effect. Sometimes what I've seen people do that actually works very well is when you're leaving one spawn to go to the next spawn, if you drop an Aceton Assimilator for any shuttles that are still alive at the previous spawn, you drop your Aceton Assimilator, you hit your evasive maneuvers to get out of combat, and your Aceton Assimilator will sit there and wipe out the rest of the shuttles, and you can be well on your way to the next spawn. It works very good. I've seen people do that. I'm actually very tempted to do it myself. I just happen to not have an Aceton Assimilator with me. But they are actually pretty cheap. I think they're only a couple million. I mean, they're not the most in-demand console out there. They only have a few niche uses, but this map is definitely one of those niche uses for Aceton Assimilator. But yeah, like I said, use that evasive maneuvers a lot, because waiting the 10 seconds to get out of combat is, you know, it can really mean that you fail an optional. And you can see there, I mean, some of the optionals were only a few seconds more and we would have done it. So in that one, if I had to use my evasive maneuvers at the right time and gotten to get that speed boost before, you know, instead of waiting to get out of combat to go into full impulse, if you use that speed boost from your evasive maneuvers, it can give you that few extra seconds you need to take down that walker. Okay, but there it is, and yeah, and that is the Mirror Universe Runabout as well in the event. Definitely a very cool looking skin, and definitely a very fun little mission. Like I said, I've run this dozens of times, and even I find it still quite fun, just because it is actually, the optionals actually are quite a challenge. And even if you fail a couple of them like we did, you still get very good rewards. So it's good rewards. It's a good little bit of challenge to meet those optionals. And this is on normal mode. I mean, it's even pretty hard to meet them on normal mode. So it is a nice, fun little mission. It's challenging. It's fun to, you know, get into your small craft and fly around, have a little bit of fun every now and then. So yeah, so I definitely recommend it. Lots of fun, good rewards, and even a little bit of challenge to meet all those optionals. All right, well, that is it, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. Definitely get out there and farm up Shuttle Weekend, and get your shuttle build going, and just keep it handy, because this event comes around every now and then, and it's always good to take advantage of it. And that's all. Bye for now.